sisters, we have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, Salman, turn up.
Beans.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man DJ Wildchild. Welcome to Drop the Beat podcast. Once again, we talking all things DJ and DJ related. You know what I mean? Right now, I got my man all the way from New York. Shouts out to the one and only. Y'all make some noise for my man DJ CEO.
What is happening,
boy?
bro?
How you feeling, son?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me on your platform, man. I appreciate it.
Man, absolutely. Before we get started, I do got to say shouts out to my vendors. Not my vendors. I'm sorry. My sponsors. Love Corkscrew, Miss Krishan Lampley. Thank you, man. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Candle Delight by my girl, Danny. Appreciate you, ma. So let's just jump right into it. Who is DJ CEO?
DJ CEO is a Brooklyn kid who, at the age of 16, got a chance to see a clip of DJ Jazzy Jeff and changed my life. And I've been chasing, not even chasing, I've achieved that high, but just maintaining this high of being a DJ and being able to share this gift that God has given me with the world. And
Nice.
and I make it a point to look fly while I do it. So that is DJ CEO.
Come on,
in a
man. Don't
nutshell.
stop. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Where'd you get the name CEO from, though?
And to be honest, it actually goes back to the actual the visuals of the brand. Early on, my background's in television and film, so I worked in
Nice.
TV
Okay.
for a while, and then I had a DJ partner. Shout out to my boy Henry, but he was in banking, and so early on in my DJ career, when I got into like nightlife and stuff, I was doing a lot of after work events. And so he was coming straight from the bank. He was always in a suit. And although I always I took pride in how I dress. Being in TV, you kind of wear whatever. And I was just thinking more so, we are a team, we should look the part. And he couldn't change his clothes, but I could. So on days we would do like after work stuff, I would make sure that I went to work in a suit and whatever. And I also at the same time had started my own production company for television and film, which I was the CEO of. And believe it or not, up to that point, I mean, I kind of had a DJ name. I was going by Chief Rock, and Chief Rock was a moniker I used when I used to rap, be an MC.
Okay.
And so, but that didn't go well with the appearance, you know.
Right.
So I just changed my name to DJ CEO. It just was more of a thing out of necessity. But you know, almost 20 years later, it is the brand. It is who I am. So
Nice. Now, do you still dabble in the TV production world?
I'm just now making my return.
Okay.
I had convinced myself for years that I couldn't do both, which is a lie. I think I just was it was during a period where I think TV was at its lowest. It was during the writer's strike. I was working on a lot of like pointless projects, and that's not why I went into it. I wanted to create some long-lasting content and produce some really dope things. And I just kind of got soured on TV. And at the same time, I was fortunate enough to be featured as a DJ on Rap City. I was working at BET at the time.
Word.
So I knew all the
Nice.
producers. So like every day I was like at their door, like, yo, you got to get me on, you got to get me on.
Nice.
And so finally, I guess they just got tired of me asking, and they let me on. But I was about 24, 25 at the time. And I was just foolish enough also to think that I was on at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I did
Right.
Rap City, like I'm about to blow, which I would not. So I was soured on TV, and I had this opportunity, and I just left TV cold turkey and just became a full-time DJ cold turkey. It's nothing I would advise anybody else to do,
Man.
because that is a arduous and ugly road.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also kind of made me who I am today. So I don't regret it, but I don't necessarily advise anybody else.
So if you could
But now I'm
change,
back.
so if you could
Back.
change anything, let's just say within just the last 10 years,
Mhm.
what would it have been?
Over the last 10 years, I probably would have stayed in Vegas. I probably wouldn't have left Vegas.
Mm.
But I don't actually, I don't necessarily agree with that because I came back for family. Like it was a necessity. It was something that part I don't regret coming back to New York because it was to be with my dad who was, going down and going down fast. And this is during the pandemic. That is, so I don't necessarily regret that. If there was a way I could have just kind of been back and forth, I would have done that. But it was the pandemic. There was no way from a time standpoint where I can come back and use my time efficiently because, you had to do the whole quarantining for like 2 weeks. It was a kind of sketchy place. But that's Vegas was so good to me. So that was like the only thing. But at the same time, I came back from a pop. So
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So let's talk about like your weapons of choice. Obviously, I see you got set of turntables. Look like an S9 mixer right there.
Yeah.
So that's your go-to.
This is my go-to. I love the S9 because it's simple. There are a lot of DJs who say that the sound card could be better and stuff like that. But I like simple. I'm not a big button pusher. I'm not, I use it a little more now because of the stems. I think the stems are a godsend.
Let me tell you how stems have changed the absolute game.
Changed the game completely. So, I'm doing that a lot more. But I like the S9 because it is simple. I like a simple 2-channel mixer and my turntables. This is how I learned, this is how I started back in 96 with turntables. It's where I'm most comfortable. Can I use CDJs and turntables? Yeah, I can pretty much rock on anything. But the feel of the turntables, the torque, like everything about it, I'm just super comfortable with it. So, it's the 2 turntables and the S9 for me.
Nice. Now, is it any gear that you would really prefer to stay away from?
Like the bullshit controllers, like the little, those. There are controllers I do really like. Like I love the Rev 7.
Yeah.
I really do. I love it. The irony of it though is, so my turntables are always battle style traditionally. So my pitch control is up top.
Up top, yeah.
So that's natural, right?
Right.
But I am so conditioned that anything outside of turntables, I'm so conditioned to my pitch controllers to be on the side that it's weird when it's not a turntable that I have to go up there. That's the only thing I don't like about the Rev 7. But other than that, the platters to me are the closest thing to turntables and how they feel. But yeah, what I do is stay away from is like just my hands are big. I don't like small platters.
Definitely.
It's not comfortable. So those like small, tiny controllers I don't really like. Plus the sound cards on them are
trash.
Terrible, so. Yeah.
Right. So run through what a pregame is like. So you're on your way to a gig or you're getting ready for a gig. What is your pregame ritual, if any?
So I'll start with just getting dressed, right? So my wife hates the fact that when we travel, like I can't pack. I have trouble packing for a trip because I dress. I'm in does it sound weird? I'm an emotional dresser. So it's like, how do I feel?
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can't predict. I dress, how I look is going to be like how I feel for that moment, for that day, that moment, that night. So I usually, I'm in the crib, I turn on, we got music always playing in the house. And, it's just, I get into a vibe and that'll determine what I'm going to wear. And then I get dressed and I get in the car. I always got my weed on me. I drive to wherever the venue is. I try to get there. I'm not one of those DJs, like if I'm headlining or whatever, I'm not the dude that shows up like 10 minutes before my set. I need to feel a vibe. I need to feel what this other DJ is doing, what he's playing, so he or she's playing, so I don't repeat it.
Yeah.
I need to get the energy of the room. So normally what I try to do is I'll try to get there maybe like hour before, I'll either sit in my car or depending on the venue, if the venue lets me smoke inside, because some venues are, letting you do that now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just sit in my car, let some music play, roll down the windows, open the sunroof. I'll smoke till I get to a place where I feel like that high is gonna last me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I smoke because I genuinely feel. I tell people all this. I'm far more gifted than I am talented, right?
Okay.
God gave me this gift, and I feel like I'm extremely, like, really like gifted on a celestial level, and I just like to get connected closer to God to before I'm a rock.
Gotcha.
So I get to that place, and then I go inside. I'll be inside for like maybe a half hour before, and I just kind of get lost in the zone. And I hope and pray that the DJ is good to create a vibe. I don't like to come in and have to like do repair work.
Yeah.
But just kind of get lost in that vibe of what the DJ is creating, connect with the energy of the crowd, and when I go on, like it's just go time. I just kind of ride that wave.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty much my routine.
Got you. Okay, cool. So have you ever, and you just alluded to doing repair work. What does that look like and feel like for you when knowing you got to go in and it's like, damn, this DJ just crashed this. Oh boy, like what goes through you in that moment?
I am what I don't like is having that pressure, right? To have to now fix, like, because it's like whoever this DJ is like stinking it up, and the crowd is like, come on. So now I'm coming on, and of course they may already be an expectation of what DJ CEO is going to bring, but it's like I have to do extra heavy lifting, which I don't want to do because it sort of takes me out of my natural progression as to like entering this space to kind of just provide these vibes. I want to build off of what you brought. So I don't, I just kind of, there's nothing I can do. I just got to suck it up and just go in, and kind of really go in and just grab a hold of them, right? Because if the DJ does this job before you, right, you kind of know where they're at. So you can go, oh, I can do this, I can do that. If you haven't done your job, then they actually aren't anywhere. So now I have to now go in and find them, as if like I was DJing all night. Like when you're DJing all night, you have that cushion, maybe like that first hour where you kind of just trying to figure out where they are, where they want to be. You don't want to do that if you're headlining. They kind of have to be that DJ. That's the opening DJs to take them to that spot, and then for you to take them from there and go higher. Now I have to go through. If I have if my set is now 2 hours, maybe 3. Now I'm back to kind of doing it like it's me all night. Like, all right. Where the, you guys now all of you are not happy. Now I have to kind of get you out of that, and that kind of sucks. But it happens though, because sometimes you get an opener who is like a vet and could be a headliner, but for whatever situation they're opening, so they do their job. But then sometimes you get an opener and they are just that, like they're not at a point in their career where they can kind of carry a party. Yeah. And it happens. It's, there's nothing you could do about it. And you don't even really knock the other DJ because it could be anybody, anybody. So you can't get mad at them. It's just, you kind of have to now change your approach a little bit.
So here's another weird, it ain't weird, but here's another question. Let's say opening DJ, he's not necessarily did the job he needed to do. Have you ever followed or been in a situation where you came behind a guy who kind of stunk up the place and then you wind up stinking right along with him?
Nah, never that. Nah, bro, never that. Nah, that ain't even in my DNA. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't ever speak on how I actually was early in my career. Right. Right. I don't have a recollection of if I was good or bad. I mean, I was told I was good, but I know, like, I've heard like early mixes that I've recorded like early in my career. I was like, oh, it's kind of cringeworthy.
Boy, listen.
Right?
Well, hey, listen. While you talking about that, one came on. I still got an iPod that I rock that has God knows how many songs on it, and some of my mixes.
Mm-hmm.
I think this mix I made from it had to be about 2011, 2012. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm riding and was like, God damn. Nah, I gotta turn this off. This is horrible.
Yeah, I have those where it's like, damn, like I wouldn't have did that, or you're like, well, why would I do it?
Yeah, that'd be it. Why the hell did
why
I
would I do
that?
But we all grow, and as you work and you get better and you practice and you kind of learn. So we've always been there. But the thing is that the majority of the public doesn't know any better. So that's what I say, like early on in my career, like at actual events, like they don't listen the way that we listen. Right. There are some people in the public who are like DJ snobs and whatever. But the majority of people aren't that. So you're never gonna know how bad or how good you really were at that time unless you record it. And during that time, most of my live sets I wasn't. So if I were to judge it, I'm sure there were sets where I was like that was bad. But I want to say if I started in 96, I want to say probably since about maybe 2006, 2007, I don't think I've ever stunk it up. Have I ever had like a set that wasn't my best that I would those happen. Yeah. But I've never like bombed. No.
And I'm pretty sure, because I know it's happened to me, to where you've had nights where it's like, yo, you just trying your hardest to find that groove, and it's like
find that groove when you can't. I've definitely been there. And so those are the nights I'm saying where it's like, damn, I just wasn't my best. But again, on those same nights, the crowd would be like, yo, you killed it. And I'm like, did y'all hear what I heard? Right. That wasn't, that wasn't it. But that happens. Yeah, you're gonna like not find that group. And sometimes the audience makes it difficult. Like they don't want to connect. Like sometimes the audience is just very difficult for whatever reason. And you have those nights where it's like it's a 3-hour set feels like a 6-hour set because you're just like, I can't get them. That happens. And I won't say it happens often, but it's not uncommon for anybody.
It's the weirdest shit ever. It's like, yo, I've been in spots where the DJ is murdering and the room is just like, it's cool.
I've seen it. I've seen it. And I've been in other rooms where the DJ is god awful and people are having the time of their life. It's just, I think when you're in our position, we're always going to judge it solely. We're going to judge it on two things. We're going to judge it based on our actual performance, right? Just from a technical standpoint, transition, song selection, our energy. And then even if we know we killed it and then the room didn't like connect, we feel like we failed because we know that's our responsibility to connect to the room. Right. If they don't get it, even if it's on them, we take that on because we want you.
It's like the quarterback, right? It's like the quarterback of the team. I played my part. I threw the ball where it was supposed to be. You didn't catch it, but it's my fault.
It's my fault. Yeah, and that's it. And you got to take that. And that happens often. So
how often do you practice though?
You know what? I've never been. No. Early on, I practiced all the time. I don't really practice that much.
Fancy ass, man. Come on, man. Like,
yeah, no, I don't practice that much. If I'm practicing, it's because, so like, I just did Madison Square Garden brought me back to be a featured guest DJ for the Knicks, right? Because of those that's not like being in a party. It's almost like being in a festival, right? You have a limited amount of time, so you don't have the option of letting a song breathe and thinking about what's coming next. And so you want to put on a show. So you have to have like a set. You have to have a routine. These songs, I know my cue points. I know when I'm coming in, I'm coming out. That's when I practice.
Okay.
I practice for that. But other than that, a party, no, because you can't like. Only thing I would be practicing is my cuts and scratches. You know, just
Gotcha.
tightening that.
Yeah.
Right. But I can't practice for a room with people. Like no, even at residencies, like if I come in here every Friday night, I don't care if I'm coming in here every Friday night. That room is this Friday is not going to be the same as it was last Friday.
Fact.
I can't prepare for that.
Fact.
I can't practice what the energy is going to be if I've never experienced the energy before.
Fact.
And how I am as a DJ, that's how I operate. So I can't practice that. The only thing I can practice are cuts and scratches. If a blend or transition pops in my mind, because I'm sure you're the same way. Like when I hear music, like I could be doing the dishes and it's like, oh shit, I could blend this.
Definitely.
You know, I'll do that. Like I'll go and try it out to see if it works. And if it works, then okay, cool. I'll try it out at a party, stuff like that.
So
but it's not on a regular basis.
So if I'm to be honest, so that gig we did when you were here,
Yeah.
30% of my set was let me try it.
Yeah. I mean, and why not? Like I think DJing is like the greatest like freestyle gig in the world. Like you can just let me try this. Let me see if this works.
Dope DJs, hell, I even say good DJs are geniuses in their own right.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it is dope when you have, like me, I got musical background, so I hear slightly even more different than your average person.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And I find, and that's one of the things about this craft that I love so much, the creativity of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or to be in a room. So like when I sat and heard Joe set, I was like, oh shit.
But you said I ran up on you like, yo, fam. Like I hear you. I hear what you're doing. And you appreciate it as another artist, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it inspires you and motivates you. Like I always feel like as a DJ, competition is necessary, but like friendly competition, because I feel like if you go out there and kill it, I now have to go out there and kill it, because for one, I'm not about to let you make me look bad. And then on top of that, the people in the venue, they benefit.
Right.
They benefit because they got the best of us.
Absolutely.
Right? If I never heard you, if I opened up for you, I'm going in here and killing it, because I don't know what this guy's going to bring. But at least for one, they're going to get a dope set, right?
Yeah.
The people are going to get a dope set. And then like the best part is that I motivate you or inspire you. And then you're like, oh, I got to go now, do this. So when I heard you, I was like, oh, okay. All right. I see what he's doing. All right. And you got it. I think it's fun. It's like, oh, you did that? Oh, let me show you this.
Yeah.
I've done that with every DJ. I've done that with DJ Scratch. I've done that with D Nice. I've done that. I did it with you. Like anybody, I don't care who it is. Like if you nice, I'm like, oh, I like that.
Nice.
Let's go. You know what I mean?
So now that you bring other DJs up, name some of the DJs you've shared the stage with, and what it was like in that moment.
So I've shared the stage with Mel Starr. I'll share the stage with DJ Scratch, Q-Tip.
How is he as a DJ? Like, I gotta know. Q-Tip.
So I make it a point not to. It was okay.
All right, that's it.
It was okay. It was okay. I wasn't, he may have gotten a lot better. This was, this is 2014 maybe.
Oh, okay.
13,
Yeah.
14.
Definitely.
Well, something like that.
Definitely.
And I didn't know, like I knew he DJ, but I didn't know he was a DJ. It's kind of like, I always tell people, producers are not DJs and DJs are not producers. There are producers who do DJ and there are DJs who do produce, but they're not necessarily one and the same.
Right.
So, we had got booked. It was a fundraiser for Robert F. Kennedy Young Leaders Association, something like that. He was okay, and I wasn't the only person who thought he was okay.
Okay. I mean,
So,
there's no disrespect at all.
There's no disrespect. He was okay. He wasn't bad. Let me just say, he was not bad. I've heard bad celebrity DJs. He was not bad at all.
Absolutely.
He was not bad at all. He was
Absolutely.
okay. He was okay.
Okay. All right.
So, but I've been around like some vicious dudes, right? Like Mel Starr, and I think for me, when I'm around them, whether we're on the same bill or you just in the same space, this may not be the best thing in the world, but now I'm like, I just take it as an opportunity to make sure that when I'm done, that you respect me and you remember my name.
Dope.
And that's what I do. And then to this point, that is what has happened.
And that's how it's supposed to be, though.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be.
Because I know they have a certain level of visibility that might be higher than mine, and all I ever really wanted is to be respected in this game as a really dope DJ. And so when I do it, I want that from the people that I respect, and we're all different. Like we all approach this craft differently. So I want to be respected for what it is that I do. And I get that. So I don't feel any pressure. I just feel like it's showtime. Like I'm going to show you what DJ CEO is about.
Got you. All right. So understanding you go in, every set is not to be the same. Understanding that wholeheartedly, because if you become, if every time I hear you, it's the same routine, I'm completely turned off.
Right.
I'm saying all that to say, when you're doing your sets, give me 5 records that is a must play for you. At some point during the night. It ain't got to be at the same point. You know what I mean?
Nah. So Truffle Butter, I don't think Truffle Butter gets enough credit.
You crazy as hell.
It is a classic record.
Let me tell you something. The track by itself
is
absolutely insane.
Is insane. So Truffle Butter, I play that pretty much in every set. It guarantees to get people moving.
Man.
It checks off every list, everything. Like, they love Drake. Boom. The beat is nuts. It's a danceable record.
Yeah.
Right. So
the cadence,
Truffle Butter.
The cadence.
Truffle Butter is always a must. Lights, Camera, Action by Mr. Cheeks. Right. I think that is another record. Amazing sample flip. Like, it's ridiculous. What the hell is the name of that record? Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Boasty, the record, the Afrobeat record with Sean Paul.
Oh,
he just hopped on it.
Yeah. Boasty. Yeah.
Juicy. I'm as a Biggie stan, like I'm kind of over Juicy, like as a record.
Wow.
Like in a sense that, and this kind of comes down to culture, to be honest. I feel like once like white people are in love with something, it no longer becomes like oh, but and I do love Juicy, but I'm kind of over it in a sense of like,
you feel like it's gotten too commercialized.
Yeah, what made it great has been kind of like just overdone. It's just too much. But I say to say it is one of the 5 records that I
Gotcha.
Because I know that it works. And Next Episode by Dre.
Okay.
Is that 4? Did I give you 4?
Cheeks, Boasty.
Oh, that's five. That's five.
That's 5. Okay.
That's five. Yeah.
All right, that's
Next
a solid
episode by
5.
Dre, still kind of it goes on.
Now, is there a genre that you prefer to stay away from? Like, you'll play it, but it's like inside you, like, oh, God damn it.
Drill music. I don't say drill is like a subgenre, like it's part of hip hop, but drill.
Right.
Because I'm in a place, and I'm in a place in my life and in my career. I'm sorry, can you hear that? The phone?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm in a place in my career and in my life that I don't want to play anything that is low vibration. And drill music is so dark. Like, we grew up on dark music, right? We grew up on 3-6 and Mobb Deep, right? But like drill,
But really, can you say Mob and 3-6 was dark, though?
they were our dark, right? When you compare it to drill, it is nowhere near
okay,
dark
so for that time.
for that time, right?
Okay.
Right, but it's not the same, right? This like drill music, like the energy that's used to create it, on top of the actual tones and notes and frequencies are so low. Like, I don't want to be around it. I don't want to play it, and I don't want to necessarily bring it to other people. Like,
Gotcha.
and when I'm at a party, I want to keep it light. And I know it's kind of like almost like a hot term today, but like I really, really just kind of operate in a high vibration space. Now, are there some that I will play that I feel kind of aren't at the basement of vibrations, but you know, can kind of get a party going? Like, yeah, Pop Smoke got a couple of those. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah,
Welcome
he
to
do.
the Party. You know what I'm saying? So I'll play those, but I don't necessarily play them like frequently and all the time. But you know, I will play those. You know what I'm saying? There's certain music that I will pick and choose. Like, if it's not necessarily my favorite, I will pick what I like the most out of the things that I don't like.
Absolutely. I absolutely get it.
Because at a DJ, we're servants too. So it's like at some point, like you have to.
Yeah, you have to take the personal space up out of it.
Out of it, yeah.
You have to.
Like, there's certain artists that I will play, and certain artists I just won't play. Right? There's so much of what I consider to be like just low quality music, not even vibration, just like bad art. Right? There's so much of it that is popular that I'm okay with taking like what I feel like the best out of like that. Like, I remember when Designer came out, and I remember when he first came out, like vocally, everybody's like, this dude sounds like Future. And it's like, yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah.
Right. But the Panda record, I just loved it. Right. I was going to play like a bunch of, stuff.
Okay.
Look, and I get it. You get it. I was like, this dude sucks at rap. I barely know what he's saying. But there was something about the Panda record. It was like,
It was Send a Room, though. That's what's crazy.
You said what?
It was Send a Room. Like,
yeah, it was Send a Room. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I got bros in the letter. They did, like, yeah. All right.
There's certain music that I may not necessarily like, but I understand what it can do to a room. So it was like that, right? So there's always that. Like, it's like, all right, when mumble rap, and it kind of still is kind of a big thing in hip hop on a commercial level, but like when mumble rap first kind of took hold, right? I was like, all right, look, I'm picking 5 records out of all of this, and this is what I'm playing. I'm not playing all the other stuff because this is how I felt. I was like, you don't need all the other stuff. These are all the same records, right? You don't need all the other stuff.
To a degree, yeah.
So, right. So I'm gonna give you a couple Futures. I'm gonna give whatever. And then who I fell in love with was they wasn't mumble rap, but they was in that kind of the ratchet kind of trap lane. Like, I fell in love with like OT Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually liked him as a person. Like, he didn't take himself too seriously. Like, I kind of view artists in that way. So like OT Genesis, I thought was dope. He had some stuff. There were a couple artists who were kind of in that ratchet, kind of like half tempo, that 68 to like 75 kind of range. And I was like, yo, this I liked it. Like, I could vibe with this, a good vibe.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you don't hear nothing else from me, Gucci, I Think I Love Her.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Let me tell you that.
Me?
Hey, I don't give a shit where you drop that album at in the party. Yeah. Oh my. Ooh.
There are songs and there are artists that just have like Gucci. Jeezy's one of them.
Yeah.
Jeezy got some shit.
Yeah.
Ross got some, like there's just certain artists who I think, even if there's a style of, and we're clearly specifically just talking about rap music, like if there's a certain style of rap that you may not necessarily be fond of, there are certain artists that just do it so well
Yeah.
that you cannot deny them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got you. All right. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
No, for sure, man. I appreciate it.
Man, this has been we've been talking about this a long time, and I finally got you. Let my people know where they can find you at on social media, and you know what events you got coming up. That's, you know, because this ain't just Chicago. This is gonna be a worldwide type situation.
Right.
Like, you know, people out in New York come hang out with you. You know what I mean?
For sure. So Instagram at DJ CEO, Twitter at DJ CEO, TikTok original DJ CEO. You can also just check out the website imdjceo.com. I don't know necessarily when this is going to air, but I'll still just mention what I got going on. I have a show coming up with Anderson .Paak at Deluxe Flux in New York City. I will be out in Cali at the end of April for a couple gigs. I think the best thing to do is just follow me on Instagram, because then you'll know where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Okay.
You can, you'll have access, as well as going through the website. You have access to my my SoundCloud to hear the mixes. Studio 55 project. It is a brand that is moving. We're cooking up something really nice. Looking to launch it actually in Vegas.
Sweet.
So the Studio 55 is like my baby. It is ideally, from a music program standpoint and a soundtrack, it is what I want to, what I choose to give people on a night in and night out basis. It's just a lot of feel good music to make you dance, ranging from Cardi B to Diana Ross, right? Just really feel good vibes. So definitely check that out. Check out Studio 55 Volume 1 and Volume 2. That is on my SoundCloud. And check out High Vibrations. High Vibrations is pretty much Studio 55, but with weed. Right? So I am a partaker. Cannabis is a huge part of my lifestyle. And me and my partner, we created a event lifestyle brand centered around cannabis. So as you know, all across the country is becoming, more legal, everywhere.
Yeah.
But I still feel like people who have been smoking weed forever are still kind of, it's almost like if you're in jail for 20 years, right? And then you get out, like you're going to still act like you're in jail, right? So people still smoking like in alleys and corners and whatever. And I'm like, no, this, like, what are we doing? Like we like, let's enjoy this comfortably in things that we do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So we do summer movie night series called Real High. We do, dance parties. We do kickbacks. We do high-end dinner parties. And eventually it's going to turn into a festival. And we're doing the first 420 comedy show here in New York. You know what I mean? So we're just creating lifestyle events, things that we would do on a daily basis and incorporating cannabis so people can not have to smoke outside before they come in. Nah, just like you in the crib,
Gotcha.
Roll up or take your edibles or do whatever and enjoy. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, my man, thank you, man. Any shouts out? I'm sorry. Anybody want to shout out?
Shout out to my wife.
Absolutely.
Always shout out to her. This is my number one supporter, big time. I shout out to my manager, Rashidi Hendricks. Shout out to all my Howard fam, my Brooklyn fam. Shout out to you, just being a solid brother.
Man, thank you, boy.
The moment we met, the old saying, real recognize real.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's it. And just shout out to everybody that rocks with me, that's rocked with me from day one, or the new fans and supporters, and appreciate what I bring to the table.
Man, appreciate you. So listen, I've enjoyed this talk. Hopefully y'all did as well. Once again, this is Drop the Beat Podcast. We will catch y'all on the next episode. Until then, I'll holler at y'all. Be easy.
Peace.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something here that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn up.